Hey guys, I was talking to a student today, and asked if he listened to the blues, and he kind of gave a non-answer. I'm not sure if he knew yes or no. I know he listens to AC/DC. I know he listens to Guns N' Roses. Without the blues, we would have none of those bands. I've been thinking about this idea about kind of tracing back all kind of electric guitar, more or less being, I guess like if you listen to the blues, if you study the blues, if you are versed in the blues, you've really got a good chance of doing, almost anything. And it reminded me of like being a kid, and one of the first things that I remember learning on the guitar, and it just blew my mind, and it seems so simple now. It's like Muddy Waters, right? I'm a man, and like I remember being like 14, and I would hear B.B. King and Stevie Ray Vaughan or Hendrix. So I need to talk about the Hendrix chord too, because somebody asked about that. But I remember hearing the sounds from the guitar, and yeah, it was really like, I never heard anything like that before, and I just kind of felt that it was coming from somewhere that I could connect with. I still like it. I still dig it. You know, Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf, Albert King. Even the lyrics, like Albert King, nobody wants to, or everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. I'm like, yeah, right? The coffee's really good. Thank you, Anastasia. Thank you, Jake. Really appreciate it. Yeah, my thought was that if, if you think about like note selection, targeting chords, 5 techniques that make electric guitar really unique are bending, vibrato, hammer-on, pull-off, slides. I have things that, like, for each one of those that I'll work on. I can't really do too much of that stuff on this guitar. That's the other thing, is I'm working on a way to get electric guitar into these videos. The problem is it's like 1:15 in the morning, and the neighborhood's asleep, the wife is asleep. So kind of the last thing I'm gonna be doing is waking people up. So yeah, I'm working on that one. Anyway. All that stuff, man. It was the precursor to rock and roll. Hank Williams Sr. It's the blues, right? Country is the blues. Rock and roll is the blues. Even if you think, like, when I'm trying to do kind of pop guitar, I'm accessing a lot of the blues ideas. If you trace them back far enough, it's there. And who can't identify with that, right? Like, looking back on it now, I had a great childhood, but it wasn't great at the time. It didn't feel great. So when I heard that stuff, it was like, yeah, these dudes got my, they got my number. Hendrix chord. And probably the single one most important guitar player. This is really why I play electric guitar, or any guitar. somebody asked about the Hendrix chord, right? So technically, it's a 7 sharp 9, so a dominant 7 chord, right? Like E7, or in this case, played it here in kind of more at the 7th fret. We were going to E, G sharp, D, right? And then we add the whatever that note is, G. You hear it in but typically it's the 5 chord, and you know, oftentimes is what they'll play it in the key. In funk, they'll just vamp on that. So when somebody says the Hendrix chord, what they're saying is it's a dominant 7 chord with the sharp 9 or raised 9. So kind of, you know, the 9 being the 2nd degree of the scale. So if the scale is E, it's going to be F sharp, one more, G. Playing it there. So anyway, that's the Hendrix chord. That's what they're asking for. The other thing I was thinking about, I think I should have been a truck driver. I mean, you think about like all the things that, you know, sometimes I just get tired of people. I get tired of stuff. And I used to tour a lot. And with a little bit of practice, it's not a big deal to spend, you know, 15, 16 hours in a van. I was thinking about, you know, if I get paid to drive, I could be in a truck, be left alone, listen to music, hang out, just kind of be left to my own thoughts, which may be dangerous. Maybe I shouldn't be left alone. Yeah, I think I should have been a truck driver, smoking the Bandit style, and Jerry Reed. Yeah, those guys knew the blues, right? I could have made a little bit of money. I'm probably make more money driving a truck than I could, you know, playing music. I know it's, contrary to popular belief, I do not play guitar because of what I may make. I don't teach guitar because of the money I might make. Yeah, I just think that, like, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right, like, the whole money aspect about this stuff. I mean, you know, I'm trying to keep the lights on, keep the dogs fed, keep power on so I can watch baseball. But yeah, now, if this was about money, I'd be driving a truck. It just doesn't, sort of the emotional math doesn't work out when it comes to, you know, sometimes doing this for money, even though all the money I do make is from, you know, guitar and music. I've been fortunate enough to work with a lot of really cool people, and been able to do a lot of things that I just thought I was never going to be able to do. You know, I just thought, well, you know, I'm either not good enough, or, you know, I'm not lucky enough, or I don't know the right people enough. But I've been fortunate to be able to do a lot of really, really cool things, mostly because I outwork everybody else, right? I try to really be perfect at all things that require no talent, because there's always going to be somebody else out there more talented than me. I tell the kids, you know, show up early, show up prepared, show up sober. You'll probably always have a gig playing music, because most everybody that I know that loses a gig, it's because they're late, they're unprepared, and they can't stay sober on a gig. So I suppose if this doesn't work out, beware, because I'm gonna get a truck. I'm gonna become a truck driver, and I'm gonna drive across the country and see all of the country I haven't seen yet. Maybe meet a few people along the way. Anyway, peace.